Welcome to another edition of your daily dose of discipleship. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to share with you. These are things that are life changing. And, discipleship is a process of transformation. You're not going to stay the same as you are today. Paul talked about it a lot in Ephesians, how that we need to spiritually grow. We measure everything in our lives, our foot size, our weight, a lot of other things as well. But what about measuring your spiritual life? Hey, there's an idea. Paul said we need to grow up. We can't be infants all the time. We got to get off the milk and onto the word. So discipleship is about that process of morphing, of being transformed by the renewing of your mind. We have the opportunity to go through a book that I think is one of the greatest books that's ever been written, and of course, second to the Bible, but it's called The Life You've Always Wanted by John Ortberg. I just encourage you to get this book. It's a great book. It will change your life if you will apply its principles. And he talks about this morphing process, which is the Greek for transformation, how that you and I can be something different, more, better than what we are today. That's why Jesus went to the cross, that our lives would be transformed and changed to be more like him, to be more in his image. I don't know if you're happy or content with the way you are today, but if you're a believer, a true believer, you got to say, I'm disappointed. I want more of God. I want to be more Christ-like. We used to wear those bracelet deals, WWJD, what would Jesus do? And that's truly the essence of it, is being able to just allow our lives to be surrendered to God in such a way that he holds control of us. We don't control our lives. He controls our lives. Surrender and sacrifice are key principles of discipleship. But today we're going to go over some other things, and he talks about spiritual growth, what it means to grow spiritually, and this whole process. He says to grow spiritually means to live increasingly as Jesus would in our unique place, to perceive what Jesus would perceive if he looked through our eyes, to think what he would think, to feel what he would feel, and therefore to do what he would do. Now here's a key I want you to get. When you morph, you're not trying to do things, you do things. You want to do what Christ would do. You're not trying to do what Christ would do. He talks about it here that God is not interested in your spiritual life. God is interested in your entire life. And man, is that an important thing we need to understand. We kind of segregate our lives or put it like into a resume. This is, me, and this is what I do, my job, and this is, I'm a husband or a wife or this, or I am a part of this group or that group, and by the way, I'm a Christian. No, it's Christian. It's your life. Everything else takes second place. And that's what a true disciple is about. Because you got to pick up your cross daily, deny yourself, and follow him. And he talks about this transformation that takes place in our lives. And I want to just emphasize to you, he says that the primary goal of spiritual life is human transformation. Now you say, you're saying that all the time, transformation. Yeah, changing. He tells a story in the book that we'll get to probably a little later, but I got to share this with you. There was a guy that came to a church that he was working in, and the guy gets saved. He's a grumpy old guy, just negative, critical, yada, yada, yada. And he gets saved. And 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, he's still grumpy, he's still critical, he's still negative. And he says here that something that really grabs me. He said, and we never anticipated that he would ever change. Look, when you meet Jesus Christ, when you surrender and give your life to him, there needs to begin a process of transformation, of becoming like him. I want you to ask yourself, has there been that spiritual growth in your life? Have you experienced change? what you used to do, how you would react before versus how you would react today. I want to challenge you today to look at that process of transformation, morphing. Has there been a process, or are you stuck? Because every day we need to try, with God's help, to be more like Him. God bless you. Have a great day.